Joining us now is Knesset member Dr. Anat Berko from the Likud party, who's also an expert in counterterrorism. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure, Natasha.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about one of the major events that was taking place in Israel over the course of the last month, the 40-day Palestinian hunger strike. It's just ended, and Israel says that they made no concessions, but we're seeing different reports coming from the Palestinians and the Israelis. Why is that?
Because the Palestinians want to show that they win, but they didn't. You know, if we'll speak about the demands that those terrorists who are incarcerated in the Israeli jail, it was for air condition, more 10 channels on TV, and things that are ridiculous. Do you think that in Guantanamo terrorists have such a conditions that we see like that here in Israel? I have my experience, you know, a lot of my research was in the Israeli jail with sitting with terrorists, first-hand research, face-to-face with them, and they got the best food, and they can buy more things that in the canteen that even soldiers don't have such a variety of products to buy in their units. So
well, the question is, why did this end now, though?
The best healthcare. Many people that need healthcare, that for example, in the U.S. they pay for that such amount of money, so much money. Here they get it for free.
Now the question is, why did this hunger strike end? We're hearing different reports about it. Israel still says that they didn't give any concessions.
Because the Ramadan is right now, and they celebrate Ramadan, and it's a time to say Ramadan Kareem, but they want to celebrate Ramadan. And the other thing that Barghouti, who actually led this hunger strike of the terrorists, he's not a candidate to Abu Mazen. He would like to take his place, but Abu Mazen didn't support him. And also, President Trump, when he was in the visit in Israel, didn't even speak in one word about those terrorists who are striking. So
now let's talk a little bit about the two-state solution. We just saw a huge protest here in Tel Aviv over the course of the weekend, held by the Israeli left. Now the big question here is, why is it so difficult for Israel to put together a joint coalition that combines both left and right forces?
Because the left forgot that we need security, and we cannot put in the hands of Abu Mazen or Ismail Haniyeh of Hamas the security of our children. We withdrew from Gaza until the last inch. What we got? Missiles, targeting kindergartens, targeting civilians. The same thing will be with the West Bank. You know, the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and also me, I support this solution, two-state solution, but Natasha, be precise, for two people. And the Palestinians do not want to say and to admit that it's one state for Palestinians, but the other state for the Jewish people. They want two-state solution, actually three-state solution just for Palestinians. They want the Islamic Emirate in Gaza Strip for Palestinians, Hamas ruling there. They want the West Bank for them, and they want the whole Israel that will be a state for all their citizens, and also after that an Arab state.
But are we going to be able to see any type of peace deal made if we're not seeing, you know, our leaders on the left and the right come together and make concessions to one another?
It's not between the left or the right. It's between the other side that need to give hands and to say, I would like to have peace. I see Abu Mazen, I mean, and I don't know if he has the ability to do so. If Israel will take all the security like right now we do, and there will be Palestinian state, but we will govern, we will take the security issues and in consideration. It could be, but Abu Mazen speaking about the claim of return of Palestinians, which means that it's calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. When you see millions of refugees in the Middle East, and they still speaking about, after 70 years, about Palestinian refugees. It's ridiculous.
Now we're seeing the UN come out and say that there's going to be a major there is a major humanitarian crisis in Gaza, but it's about to explode, and it could implicate Israel as a result of the political disagreement on the ground that we're seeing between Hamas and the Palestinian Authority over electricity and electricity taxes. Now, how should Israel be involved in this issue, if at all?
First of all, Hamas should ask themselves if they want to invest money in the tunnel or in weapon to target Israel and to just build their military forces, or to take care of their community, of their own people. We cannot give them electricity and money and actually 1,000 trucks a day we give them as a humanitarian aid, but they use all those stuff against Israel and not for their military forces.
So
and not for
but the question is, should Israel be intervening in any way to help this issue, or to ensure that the Palestinian Authority does continue to pay Israeli electricity bills for Hamas?
Actually, by saying that we wouldn't pay that, we wouldn't cover that, and the Hamas should, and the people in Gaza should ask Hamas, instead of putting the electricity in creating a weapon and tunnels, please give us the conditions to have dignity and life that can respect us.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in, Knesset member Anat Berko.
Thank you, Natasha.